Hey!
The mighty finger has said that we're live.
We are live. We're so live. I love the fact that we're vaxxed. And now Cameron can be here and point at us.
I
And we're not
know.
running around the camera.
The cameras work so much better when you're vaccinated too.
Yeah, they do. They do.
You don't have to have a conversation with them about being vaxxed. They just roll.
Hey guys, I'm Elise.
And I'm John.
And we're part of the Heart of Austin Homes team here in,
Austin, Texas.
you guessed it.
And if
Oh
you
my
haven't figured it
gosh.
out, we are both double vaccinated.
We are. And
Oh, how much hate mail are we going to get?
so much hate mail. It's okay.
Oh, well.
Anyway, we love you regardless. And
Okay.
and we wanted to let you know about what the hey was happening this month in the Austin housing market.
Right, because these are getting more fun by the month.
I don't know if fun is the word I
No,
would use
It's
for
like
it.
The House of Crazy is going to come out. So no, it's getting fun. The numbers are changing. I like change. I like watching numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to talk about some?
No, let's just talking about numbers.
Oh, that would be boring as all hell.
I don't know.
That's like a math class.
It's been pretty interesting
I mean,
so far.
I would like it, but there's only a couple of other math nerds out there that would get into it.
I have a math minor. I love math.
Okay, well maybe we should do some around housing.
Around us. Okay. All right, John.
Mhm.
How many homes were available for sale as of the end of May?
Okay, end of May. In which metro? We're talking Austin.
We're
here?
talking about Austin.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Austin, the city of,
The city of,
which is
well,
mostly in
yeah.
Travis County now. I don't think there's
Things
any
with an
Austin
Austin
outside of
address.
Travis County. That would create like a critical section failure for municipalities.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's-
Austin. Okay,
let's
how many
not
we
do
got?
that. Let's not get into a
Active?
lawsuit on this video.
No, I'll save that for later. Active listings? Is that the
Active
question?
listing, yes. 660
660.
for the whole city.
The
You know,
whole
that is so better than that time we looked at like a couple weeks ago and it was 250.
That's true. That's
I feel like
it's over double.
we're improving.
Right?
That being said,
What was it last month?
last month it was 703.
Oh, it went down?
Yeah, no, listen to this. No, you want to know something crazy? Because that's down 6.1%.
Okay, like
Since
I
last
remember last time we were like, it's getting better. There's more inventory
There was
coming.
a
right?
little bit more
Just a
inventory.
little bit.
Yeah, no.
One step forward, two steps back.
And then this is the real kicker. We're down 62. He just kicked me. But like in a gentle way, don't freak out. Again, no lawsuits in this video. 62% since last year, May to May.
62% of what?
62% actives down. 62%.
Year over year.
Year over year.
Yeah, so
I
means
could have
we
said
had
it like that, yes.
Maybe 1,000 or 1,200 last year. More than that.
We had
1,700
1,722.
last May.
You are a better mathematician than I am, John Black.
I'm just airballing it. Like my brain is not using calculator here. I'm just like, oh, it's got to be a number significantly larger than 666.
I like you a lot. Yeah, no, 1,722, 1,722
And so that was
last May.
That was like well into the pandemic. That was like
Well, I mean, it was like a month and a half into the pandemic.
yeah. So to me, like the big financial crash was March.
Yeah, well,
So
it was
still
just kind
two-
of, it was kind of
that
weird
crash.
too, because there were a couple weeks during like the beginning of the pandemic where we weren't allowed to show homes and people were kind of nervous. And then it went like, never mind, we're all about this.
Yeah,
and people
it
got
was.
out there and started buying like the bejesus.
Okay, so you got 660 choices to choose from.
600, yeah, and 60.
If you have no other requirements, it's just a house.
But how many of you went under contract in the month of May 2021?
Woo! 1,046.
1,046, which
So
I
that's-
would like to point
It's a lot
out,
of double closes or
That's
closing in the same month.
up 28% since last May. So the number of sales went up 28%, while the number of available homes went down 62%.
Still tight.
What?
Still tight.
What?
What about month over month?
Month over month,
How many sales we have last month?
it's only down 3.14%.
Oh, but it did go down a little.
It did go down. The number of sales went
That's
down just a
interesting.
hintiest tint. I think that's just
But
because
it's-
people are literally like, there's literally not a house on the market.
Yeah, but like that shrinkage is so small that it's almost negligible.
Well, before we would have been like, oh, that's like a small but something movement, but the movements are so large right now that 3% just looks like holding steady.
Yeah, that's right. And so if you're looking at actives month over month, I'm sorry, what was last month again? We have 660 this month.
660 last month was 703.
Okay, so we're still shrinking. It's,
It's down
it's
6%.
not moving a whole lot. So we're just almost the same.
Totally, yeah. And then if you look at median home price,
So we're currently at $650 median home price in Austin.
we were just below 600 couple years ago, we
what
were
was
like,
it-
oh, we broke 400.
What was it last month? I almost don't care about a year ago. I mean, like the year ago is like the
No.
shock number.
No, you
right?
have to see the shock number.
Okay, what's the shock
The
number?
shock number is that we were up 49.4%
50% increase in 1
in the
year.
median home price in 1 year.
Like shit, that's almost as good as Bitcoin.
I mean, if all the people who were like, I don't know if I should pay that $5,000 over last spring
Yeah.
are probably beating themselves up mentally
Sorry.
if they didn't buy. But if they bought, they're going like, I knew all along that this was a good decision.
Because they're human.
They're not saying, I'm glad I trusted Elise.
So what were we from a month ago?
A month ago, we were at 636. So we're up 2.2% in 1 month, which normally we'd be like, whoa, 1% a month is huge. But 2.2 is starting to sound like a reasonable amount to grow in a month.
2.2, if you extrapolate that out, would be about 25% for the year. But if we're up 50%, hey, that's a slowing down of the appreciation.
I know. I keep telling people we cannot continue to grow at this rate. We will continue to grow by all of the indicators, at least that I'm looking at.
Ooh, well, I got a theory.
You got a theory? Ooh.
Do you want to hear it?
I want to hear your theory.
Okay, well, is it totally just a couple of my brain cells firing back and forth? It does not mean that this is what will happen.
Brain cells fired?
This is it. Sometimes. I'm not saying this is absolutely going to happen, but I like the theory. You can tell me if you like it too, or if you think it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like it.
a lot of this is being pushed by tech companies moving into Austin. A lot of the buyers that are buying stuff at unprecedented levels are coming from Apple and Tesla execs and things like that.
Well, you got inflation. You got the
Yep.
cost of building has gone up drastically. Not even just lumber, like all the goods.
Right, but
And then you've got the fact
person pulling the trigger on the purchase
that is
is a techie. Like a lot of them are.
a lot of them are taking
Yep.
this. Okay, sure.
So I'm saying that only because it aligns to my theory. So I'm selectively
Okay,
picking the data that I want.
You are.
that
I mean, you're
subscribes to
not
my theory.
completely wrong. Well, it's like we have a decent subset to
Right.
analyze.
But I'm cherry picking too because
Well,
human.
it's cool.
So I think that Austin's just going to kind of asymptotically approach. You can Google that word; it's a fun one.
Asymptotic.
The same market rates that we're seeing in other metros like Seattle, San Diego, Boston, Atlanta. Not so much because Atlanta's still relatively cheap. Denver and those areas because all the big FANG companies are in those metros, and so now because everyone's working from home-ish, or part-time in the office, part-time not. Like all of them are kind of the same. It's like, oh, you want to work for Apple? Okay, great. Here are 5 areas that we have offices. And those 5 areas are, Seattle, San Francisco, Austin, maybe San Diego. I don't know for sure.
Someplace in the Northeast.
Right. But my point is, maybe Boston, New York,
Yeah.
right? That now because of the mobility and because of the flexibility, like they're all just going to become kind of one, not necessarily one big market, but they're going to get a lot closer together because now you can kind of go into any of those areas.
Yeah.
HR managers are going to be like, oh, you want to move to Austin? We'll pay you a little bit less. Well, you can't do that anymore because Austin costs
Cost
more.
of living.
So
Going up.
here are some numbers if you want to look at other
Oh,
metros.
really? John?
Yes. Now these are slightly different stats, but you're still not going to be able to see with those things. But if you look at some other similar metros,
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
yeah, they do. They're
Thank
cute. San Diego is 825 is the
I
median
really can't
price.
see very well.
Seattle is 856, so those are pretty close. Now I know there's going to be some agent out there who's like, John, you're totally wrong. The median price is not that. It's something else.
You're totally wrong.
Okay, great.
John.
Tell me the right number below. I'm just like using Zillow and Google, which I know are just like, close-ish.
Close-ish.
Right? I do know that the
Vaguely,
Austin
maybe.
number is accurate at 650 because I have access to that.
We're like, we
MLS.
literally just told you,
Right.
650.
Denver is 526. San Francisco is still 1.2 million, so they've got a ways to go. Right? No one's going like, San Francisco looks cheaper all of a sudden, right? Atlanta is 330, so still very affordable in comparison, but it's also a much bigger city, right? Austin's only 1 million, Atlanta's huge.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Boston 725 and Portland is 524. I think that Austin basically has more room to go, right? If
Yeah.
you think that the numbers are crazy right now, I think we could easily see a median price
Yeah.
in like the 700s.
Well, and I really think your argument
before it tops out, right?
Your argument that I've heard before about multiples of median income show that we still have room to grow in Austin as well.
Yeah.
So
I think we're also going to see
Incomes.
wage pressure is going to
it's
go
going
up.
to have to.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at the U.S. versus a lot of other countries, and you look at a ratio of like number of years of income that someone needs to pay to be able to buy their house entirely.
Yep.
A lot of countries are in the 7 to 10 range, and that is not at all the case in the United States. So I really do think that there's a
meaning in the United States the number is typically lower,
exactly,
but it's getting to be much higher. And
yeah,
those
I mean, basically
those critical metros, right?
Incomes are going to have to go up, especially when you include inflation, et cetera, and then additionally cost of living. Your housing is going to have to be a larger percentage of your cost of living.
We've got labor shortages, so that means wage pressure.
Labor shortages, housing shortages.
Yeah.
We have
Shortages
things.
everywhere.
We have shortages of all the things.
Geez, you'd think it was like in Russia, housing market
In
needs you,
Russia.
right?
I bought the toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay,
horrible
sorry,
accent.
I don't mean to make fun of Russia.
Yeah,
I have
no,
no idea
at
what the
all.
economy is
Not
like
at
over
all.
there, other than it's
Sorry.
mostly based on raw materials.
There you
But I'm not going to get on that tangent.
go. So now we're going to talk about South Austin.
South Austin.
No lawsuits. No lawsuits.
Some attorney out there is going to like have words for us. Okay.
Oh,
We see.
God.
Here's the thing.
We'll learn something.
We don't edit these, so it's kind of like, sorry, attorney.
You got
This
our
is
verbal
what you get.
diarrhea.
You're gonna have like real time editing. Can
I'll
AI?
go like, this is what I think of.
Yeah. Can AI do that yet? I need just someone to write an AI program that can real time edit out all the stuff that's gonna get you in trouble.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
New startup, go.
South Austin. We're going to talk to you about South Austin. When we say South Austin, we're talking about 78745, just south of Ben White, 78748, just south of the other, and then 78739 and 78749.
The 4 zip codes kind of just
Yeah.
south.
Basically all surrounding where we live
Assembly
ourselves.
line.
And how many homes are available in those 4 zip codes, Sean?
96.
96 homes. 4 zip codes. 96.
What was it last month? On a few days?
Last month was 107.
107. Okay, so down a little bit.
Down 10%, actually.
25 per zip code.
Down 47% since last year. I know you don't
Year-over-year.
like the year-over-year ones because
No,
they're just depressing.
it's for anyone out there writing headlines. That stat's for you. Right?
That-
It's for the clicks.
It's also for my vindication for people who said, "Oh, by next year we're going to have a crash." That
Yeah.
makes- Sorry.
Well, if we're gonna have a
I
crash,
still love you though.
if we're gonna have a crash, we need lots of supply.
You do.
So,
Where the hay is that going to come
well,
from?
here's the thing: City of Austin kicks out about 10, 11,000 permits a year.
Mm-hmm.
We
Did
still
that
have-
again this year?
We still have positive demographic pressure, so unless they double the number of permits,
And even then, if they doubled it, those houses will all have to get built. And that's assuming
Yeah, so it takes
that
some time.
the 15,000 more jobs that are headed into Austin in the short-term future.
or a plane
Didn't just suck
that
those
was
up.
specific to Austin that would send everybody out of the city, that would lower prices.
True. We'll work on that.
Sorry, I went dark. there.
Sales. No loss. Okay. Sales. So 229 homes sold in those 4 zip codes in South Austin in the month of May. And yes, that is much more than the number 96.
Yep.
So yeah.
A lot of
there's
closes in the
that.
same month.
Number of sales, get this, is up 22% in South Austin.
Month over month?
Month over month, it's only up 1.3%.
Okay, so 22%.
I mean, that's
year-over-year.
cool and all, but
So still kind of flat. Well, I mean, what this tells me is that maybe things are kind of slowly, maybe they're asymptoting, right?
well, what I do see is there are a lot of people who had no plans to move out of Austin that are saying, I can get what for my house
yeah.
right now? And then we're saying like, heck yeah, we will orchestrate that bidding war for you. And then they're saying, do it. And then we do it.
And then they move to San Antonio or McDade.
Or McDade or north of Houston. I'm having a lot of people move to
Or
North
to New
Houston
England.
right now.
Yeah.
Or to New England.
A lot of people are actually, a lot of our sellers are leaving the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
truth. And I will still be able to see them over Zoom.
Yeah.
We can
Because
see
that's the way we
them.
see everybody anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
Which makes your market less relevant, like I was saying before.
and yet everybody wants to live here all the same.
Yeah, so when you do leave the house, you can go, bike wherever it is you want to bike.
Yeah, true. I like biking.
Yeah, me too.
Median closed price for South Austin is at $585. We're still a little below the city.
Bargain.
The city.
City
The
median.
whole city one,
Yeah.
but that is still up 53.74%, 54% since last year.
Beat Austin by 5%.
It did. South Austin was a little underpriced for how cool it was. I would agree.
If that were a bond, it would have total bragging rights.
If that were a bond. And it's
But
up
they're trash right now.
1.7%, almost 2% since last month.
More than the bank will pay you in a year.
Oh my gosh, in 1 month.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah, those are the stats.
For Austin.
Yeah,
For May.
yeah.
Expressed in June.
You didn't make a comment about my dress though.
Well, this is a really nice dress. This is about
This is my
Austin stats.
This is my Pretty Woman dress, like the girl,
It
like
is
in
your
the
Pretty
polo
Woman dress.
scene,
Mhm.
and then I want to walk around being Pretty Woman, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, you do have a lot of new dresses lately, and they look good. So
I do.
next video, we'll have another dress.
Shine.com.
Mhm.
He made me go hit them up and get some dresses.
Oh, dude, that was like an unofficial
Made
sponsor
is
right
a
there.
strong thing.
No one paid us for that.
No one even paid us for that. But it's not spelled like you would expect. So, you know, go
Spelled
figure
the
that
German way.
Yeah.
Shine.
out. Shine.
Like a
Except it's
stein.
totally- it's
no,
totally
but it's
not.
EI,
It's
not
not
IE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm, yeah. But that's actually the German way. They say the second vowel
Right.
in general. Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, you have been wonderful to stick it through this entire diatribe with us. If you have any more questions whatsoever, we are super happy to help. We really love making ourselves useful, and our team has been just kicking butt and being amazing. So we would love to help you out in any way possible. Anything else to contribute, John Blackman?
So much, but we're out of time. So
We gotta go pick up a baby.
we'll see you next time before our Mariposa guys get mad at us.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.